Mr. Kvit, we're delighted to have you here at CRDF Global to talk about Ukrainian science and collaboration between Ukraine and U.S. in science. What do you feel is your greatest accomplishment so far as minister, and what do you think is still needed?
Of course, the most important achievement of our ministry is new law on higher education, but it is important to understand that we started to work on this law just after the Orange Revolution from 2005. The next steps will be related to changes of our rules in research. Because the problem is that in Ukraine, research was divided from the learning process. It means research, according to understanding of the Soviet power from the 1920s, that research should be conducted within a system of National Academy of Sciences, but learning process within university system. It's awful, and we have a gap between these two systems, and that is why our next step is we need to push new law on science and research in Ukraine.
Since becoming minister in February, and especially in light of the difficulties that Ukraine is going through right now, has that changed your view of what reforms are necessary, or perhaps what is possible?
Everything is possible. Everything is possible. It is clear for academic community, for experts, for politicians who are who are focused on these topics. Everything is clear what should be done and what should be changed in Ukraine.
Well, CRDF Global, of course, has worked for many years in Ukraine. We have an office in Kyiv, as we have for nearly 20 years. What, in your view, is the importance of international cooperation to Ukrainian science, and what benefit does it bring?
Yeah, the Soviet Union was the country which was close to the world, and unfortunately, until now, the policy of our government was not oriented to the open to the world. But this topic of internationalization of higher education and research is one of the most important in Ukraine. That is why especially collaboration our representatives of Ukrainian academic community with international, first of all, American partners through supporting of your foundation is very important. I think extremely important.
There are many problems in Ukraine that, of course, only Ukrainians can solve. What are the areas in which you will most look to outside help, to international help, especially in the science and technology sphere?
Today, in our post-revolutionary situation, I think it's important the fact of international collaboration because of the experience, because of the understanding of standards, because of the very important task of access to different informational resources, different scientific journals, and because of the task of publications of results of Ukrainian researchers at these journals. I mean, in our time, maybe it is important international collaboration itself. But a bit later, our academic community and our government have to focus on some concrete branches where Ukraine could be competitive on the global level.
Well, I certainly appreciate the long-term view that you're taking and the very bold stance that you have set out on reforming the entire education and scientific sector in Ukraine. Mr. Minister, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. It's a great pleasure and it's a great honor to have you here in our office. I hope that we'll be able to continue to work with Ukraine for many more years to come. Thank you so much for being with us. І ми бажаємо вам великих успіхів.
Thank you very much for these meetings and very interesting discussions and very important and interesting information. And I hope that we really will have fruitful collaboration in the future. Thank you very much.